Jonathan in Chicago, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Not thirsty, evidently. I'm drinking water like crazy. It's kind of warm in here.
It's about 300 degrees.
I just wanted to talk to you guys about presuppositional apologetics.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, I had never heard your take on it, and I don't know. do you know about this Bruggencate?
Yeah, he's full of bullshit.
Is he Pentecostal?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with presuppositional apologetics. I think it is an oxymoron. Apologetics is the process of offering the explanations for why you believe. And if you are going to presuppose the existence of God or presuppose characteristics without justification that necessarily lead to the conclusion that a God exists, you're not engaging in apologetics. You're engaging in, I believe this, I believe this, I believe this, I believe this, with your fingers in your ears, and I don't care to talk to you.
Right, yeah, it's on some of the debates I've heard, a lot of people have trouble getting past this argument. Atheists have trouble getting past this argument, but it seems like just a bunch of tricks.
Well, it's one trick.
Yeah.
I don't. I've seen people struggle with this, and it's probably because to people who understand burden of proof, the nature of evidence, the foundations of epistemology, and how we're actually going to go through determining whether or not something is believable, it comes off as so absurd that they're caught completely off guard. If Sci-10, what's-his-face, wants to call into the show, you know what? I'd rather he didn't, because I've heard from other atheists that he's called in or done podcasts with them with the express understanding that he's not to use the content without their permission. And then he's gone and edited things and thrown it on DVDs and then sold it to make money. And if I don't get to make money off this, nobody's making money off this. So Cy isn't going to be very pleased if he calls into the show. Now, if he wants to have a public debate at some point, okay. As soon as he gets up and stands up and acknowledges that he's engaging in presuppositionalist apologetics, I'm going to eat his lunch, and then we can talk about something else.
Presuppositionalists don't debate. They claim to have solved the biggest problems in philosophy while asserting that they cannot possibly be wrong and that no other worldview can do this, but they don't demonstrate the truth of the claim that no other worldview can do this. They shift the burden of proof and want you to prove that you can, when what we're really saying is that we don't have evidence that anybody can, including you. They have no interest in demonstrating that belief in God is reasonable, which is the subject of this debate, a subject that I'd argue only one of us actually addressed. They're only interested in claiming that you can't reason if there is no God. Well, how can they demonstrate the truth of this? I have no idea. But they've removed themselves from the realm of debate when they make unsupported claims, including the claim that they're certain and can't be wrong. This isn't how debates are done. Kindergarten theology coupled with kindergarten philosophy, presuppositionalism is the equivalent of sticking your fingers in your ear and refusing to listen to reason. When your debate practice is to just repeatedly make claims and ask, could you be wrong about that? How do you know that? In order to get people to admit honestly that they're not certain of everything, or perhaps anything, you're not engaged in debate. When challenged on clear, repeated appeals to absolute certainty and your response is that you're not really concerned about absolute certainty, the dishonesty is transparent. Saying that you could be wrong doesn't mean that you are wrong and doesn't tell us anything about whether or not you're wrong. The reason that certainty wasn't relevant in this debate, or in fact to knowledge, is that certainty is not a measure of the truth of a claim, it is the measure of the individual's confidence in a claim. Bertrand Russell said the trouble with the world is that the stupid are cocksure and the intelligent are full of doubt. There are big questions in this world, some of them may forever be beyond our ken, but some of them appear to be discoverable. At this point, I see no reasonable justification for believing that God exists, the subject of this debate. And I also see no reasonable justification for why anyone should ever again waste time debating someone who has no interest in debate, but wants to merely claim that you're wrong because they're convinced that they have a special friend who ensures that they cannot be wrong.